In this episode, Sarasota, cars and coffee, the cutest little car you ever did see, and make sure to keep your head up. Welcome to episode 139 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, last time we chatted, that was about a week ago, you had a check engine light and you didn't know what it was about.
Yeah, I got the codes cleared, got the codes read. It's just some emissions bullshit. Thankfully, we live in Florida.
They don't care about that here.
Nope. Screw your smog, screw your emissions checking. No. Either way, that was mended, but it was time for some maintenance.
Oh?
So, I am a mechanical god. With the help of my very good friend, Chris. So,
okay.
Oil has been changed. I've given it the good stuff again. Back to liquid moly. Thank you. We are changed air filter. We changed another air filter, a cabin and engine air filter. I played around with fuses. Briefly lost one in the engine bay. It would have been doomed because it was an important fuse. Luckily, my very good buddy, which, again, I'm so grateful for you, thank you, was able to help me fish it out by finding it. Let's see. Many things are now making my car much happier.
Yes, Jeremy Clarkson. Let me guess. You took a little hammer and went bing, bing, bing. And he said, I'm a mechanic now.
It's pretty close to that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say, the car does feel like it's running much smoother with air filter and good oil again.
All right.
Because the air filter was kind of funkadelic. It's been a while.
I think I need a new one of those.
Yeah.
I haven't changed mine in a while either.
I feel like my car finally was like, I can breathe!
Mm-hmm.
Thank you! Yes. But, yes, apart from that, there was also a Cars and Coffee that happened.
There was.
You and I happened to go.
We did.
Mm-hmm. And it was quite good.
Let's take a look at some photos.
Yeah, we'll get a quick little recap of the November Sarasota Cars and Coffee.
Sure.
The theme was the Di Tommaso Pantera.
Ooh.
So there's a bunch of those. I didn't know there was that many of them here locally.
I had no idea either.
I thought there was like 3. Maybe.
There were a lot.
There was a shit ton.
And they were nice.
Some of them were like a bit modded. Some were just perfectly restored. Like, I didn't know there was that many of them here.
Had no idea either.
I honestly thought you could count them on one hand.
No. There was over 10.
Apparently not. There was a bunch.
Yeah.
Really cool to see them all lined up as
Very cool.
The theme or the specialty row and all that.
And I think in this photo, you can't really see it, but way down the line there was a Ford GT down there.
Yep.
An older one. But it really blended in with the Ford, with the Di Tommasos.
It does, yeah.
If you were not into cars, you would just assume it's another one.
Yeah.
Keep on moving on.
Slippery looking.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
So that was neat.
It was very neat. But then while we were wandering around, we stumbled upon an old Maserati, which neither of us kind of really knew. Because old Maseratis aren't usually kind of our forte, shall we say.
No, they're not.
So I had to do some digging. This old Maserati we stumbled upon was the original Ghibli.
Ooh.
Which is funny, because the current Ghibli, in my opinion, is the fake baller Maserati.
True.
Remember that conversation we had about the fake ballers, right? With the Maserati Ghiblis and the red wheels and the so on and so forth. But this is the original Ghibli. And upon some further digging, this would be the AM115 generation, I suppose you could call it. It was built from 1967 to 1973, so it's a bit old at this point. It was originally built as a 2+2 V8 Grand Tourer, so big V8 in it.
A 2+2 V8.
2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Huh.
Yep. Which is funny, because when I did some looking, the 2 in the rear are nothing more than a cushion.
Okay.
So it's a sports car, right?
All right.
Quick little bit of specs. You could have optioned this with either a 4.7-liter V8 that produced 306 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque, or you could option it with, I believe it was the SS trim, which would have given you a 4.9-liter V8 with 330 horsepower and 354 foot-pound of torque.
300
pound-feet, pardon me. Yeah, so that's a big jump in torque.
Wow.
Yeah. Really cool.
For that
they
era.
weighed 3,600 to 3,900 pounds, so they were heavy, right? Which meant that engine was made out of just pure cast iron.
Right.
But it's from the 60s and 70s. What do you expect?
That's still a relatively quick little machine for back in that day.
Yeah.
That would be fun to drive back in that day.
If it ran.
True.
I'm surprised it made it to Cars and Coffee.
Good point. But a cool spot. And I think I took this picture because I didn't know a lot about this car, and I love learning these things.
Yeah, it's just a random car that neither one of us knew. I guess that's the evolution of the Ghibli. You go from that to the horrendousness that we see on the road today.
Sadly, yes.
So let's see. What else was there? Very nice McLaren 720S with, in the pictures, it looks yellow, but in real life, it was orange kind of pinstriping, which I believe is that Papaya Spark color, or McLaren orange, if you will.
Yes, it was.
And this was just kind of hiding behind a dumpster.
Chilling in the parking lot away from the car show a little bit, but you always got to look. You got to look around because you never know what you're going to see in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's matte gray with orange pinstriping and accenting.
And I think it has carbon on the hood and the front. Yeah, it looks
very
great.
carbonified.
It was a pretty darn good spec.
Agree. Oh, one of my favorite cars that was there.
And what was this?
It's a Porsche.
With what color?
Well, I'll get to that in a second. But it's an aftermarket Canards. It's got some aftermarket goodies. It is painted in paint to sample Gulf Orange. I chatted with Yona briefly. And the first thing I said to him, is it paint to sample? Because if you know, you know. And he immediately went, yes. I was like, yes. It's not lava. It is Gulf Orange. I love this, the 991.1 GT3 RS. With the fancier headlights, the PDLS, Porsche Dynamic Lighting System Plus by Xenon headlights. In black. Very good spec. Love that spec of that car. It works so well.
That is basically the quintessential Porsche.
Almost, yes. Pretty well. And then we move on to a very tastefully done NSX.
An older NSX.
This is like the very first NSX with the pop-up headlamps.
The good generation.
The
NSX.
best.
Yes, the best.
And its wheel choice.
What was this wheel choice?
Volk TE37s. TE the world.
Educate me. I don't know about the wheel culture.
It is like the most popular JDM wheel you could ever buy. And frankly, they look good on everything. You should put white TE37s on your car.
Really?
Yes. They look good on Japanese. They look good on German. They look good on American. I can't think of a car that a TE37 does not look good on. I've seen a picture of a Volkswagen GLI, just like mine, on TE37s. And it made me feel tingly.
A Tesla Model 3?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
TE37, TE the world, bruh.
All right.
God, that just, that is, in my eyes, about the perfect NSX that God could create.
I do love me an NSX. The wheels were okay to me.
What do you mean okay?
I didn't love them. I didn't hate them.
What?
I don't know.
What do you mean okay? That's the most perfect JDM spec car that's ever existed.
I'm not in that culture. I don't know.
Oh, Derek.
I don't know.
Come on, man. It's too good. It's too good. I was drooling over that car.
All right.
And I'm not an NSX fanboy, but I was drooling over it.
Now, I know you were drooling over this.
I was not.
Oh, I don't think a lot of people were.
Although, I was appreciative of what was hanging out from underneath the back of it.
So, explain to the listeners what this is first.
Well, this is a teal chrome wrapped C8 Corvette. Is that the best description of the color?
Chrome with an exclamation point.
Very chrome. How
Very
much chrome
reflective.
would you like? Yes.
Almost full mirror, but teal colored mirror. Kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like a teal tinted mirror because you can actually see like clearly reflections of things around it.
Right. Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Does a guy drive this or a girl drive this?
Guy.
You think so?
100%.
Could you see a girl driving
No.
this? I could.
I think this is too outlandish for a girl.
Really?
Yeah. I think that this is just too over the top for a girl.
I could see this either being an influencer girl.
I still think it's just the wrong. At that point, then it's going to go even further.
I think you're right about that. I do think that this is up to the limit, but not further than the limit.
Yeah.
Now, what was in the back?
2 big old twin turb skis, brother.
I'm sure this thing is super fast.
I'm sure this thing can freaking scoot.
Yeah.
It's ugly, but it can scoot.
The wrap, very questionable. But yeah, I'm sure it's quick.
I can't get behind the wrap. I appreciate the big twin turbos hanging off the back.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't get behind. I just want someone to do an IMSA or WEC-inspired livery wrap on a C8.
You're right. I haven't really seen that on the road.
Like, I want it properly done to look like the IMSA car.
With twin Serbskis?
Yeah.
That takes the essence of the Corvette.
But it makes it fast.
Yeah. No.
I want a twin Turbski your car.
No.
Bruh.
No. The tires would just explode.
Well, that's true. You have Prius tires in your car.
Yeah,
so.
You would never have any grip anywhere. All right, let's move on.
Yes. So moving on to the original Lamborghini Murcielago, which I love.
I think everyone loves that because it was the poster child, right?
How can you not?
The lines on that car, just do it.
How can you not love that?
I could see an upcoming generation not loving it as much. But our generation loves these.
It's very wedgy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very angular. It's just perfect Lamborghini for me. And actually, what really does it is the fact that when I was growing up, I played Need for Speed. Did you?
Yes.
Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Was it Hot Pursuit 2? I think it was Hot Pursuit 2.
2.
And, like, the car that you always wanted to get in that game was this, a Lamborghini Murcielago.
Mm-hmm. In the yellow or the orange.
You're goddamn right.
Right. Yep. I agree.
Mm.
Do you think this car is aging, though?
Well, a fine wine.
I think it's on the edge of starting to get past the fine wine. It's starting to go down.
See, I think to me, this is like a cheese or a wine. Like a really nice cheese and wine with a nice peasant cracker.
I think if you look at all the cars coming out from the Ferraris, the McLarens, the Audis, they're all starting to put the arrow into the car, and they're all starting to look the same.
Which is why I think this is aging well.
Okay. But I don't think that the next generation is going to like this car's looks as much because it is so radical from the so-called poster childs of their era.
Well, the next generation sucks.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry. I sound like a grumpy old curmudgeon.
You really do.
Kids these days, I can't stand these tasting music in their cars and their batteries. But how can you not love a Murcielago? Like, honestly, it's so good.
It is, but I think it's more of a generational thing than you think it is.
You're probably right.
I bet you if we went and asked the high schoolers of now, do they love the Murcielago? They'd be like, nah, give me a 720S.
And take a step further. Ask them if they've ever heard of a Murcielago.
Maybe.
Eesh.
Maybe.
I'm going to feel real old in a second. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on audio, either drop a comment on the video or send us a message on social. Let us know. If you are an upcoming car enthusiast or you happen to know one in your household, ask them what they think about the Murcielago. Let us know here.
I bet you if that Corvette behind it was not wrapped in that crazy color, if it had the same yellow next to it, and we asked people in high school, what would you rather have? They would probably rather have the Corvette.
You know, as soon as you started going Corvette, I knew where you were going with that.
Yep.
That's going to make me cry.
And can you disagree with that?
Yes.
No, I mean, what do you honestly think that they would choose?
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think they would choose Corvette.
That's going to make me cry.
Yep.
Don't make me cry.
It's okay. Because we have cars like this now.
Which has got a battery in it.
Yes, it does. And it's faster and it's more sleek and it gets more social media likes and that's what the kids nowadays care about.
It's
so
true.
What are we
Actually,
looking at?
no, this one is really cool. This is the Ferrari SF90 Stradale, which is essentially the $1 million supercar from Ferrari, their latest.
Yes.
Which is crazy to me because this one's modified on Anarchy wheels. And I've seen some rumors that this one is going to Gintani to get insanely tuned to be potentially the world's fastest SF90 ever tuned and built.
Jeez.
Yeah. But there was a black SF90, but then there was another black SF90 there. Two. The fact there was $2 million supercars like there back to back, that's insane, bro.
The cars and coffee around us is pretty ridiculous.
Like, in just this one picture alone, look at the different types of cars we've got. We've got a Ferrari SF90. We've got an air-cooled Porsche. We've got a Mustang. We've got an old hot rod and a Prius.
They're all there in a single shot.
Yeah.
That's the magic of this car show.
Our cars and coffee's legit.
Yep. It's super cool.
But twin SF90 Stradales. Really cool.
Wild.
Moving on to an old Chevy pick-em-up truck, which you and I both stopped and paused and went, damn, that's really good.
This is another one of those parking lot spots that was not in the car show, but was super cool because they had let the rust eat through. Then they clear coated over it and shined it up, and you could see all the imperfections, and patina was amazing with the clear coat over top.
If you're going to have an old Chevy pickup, do that.
Yep, clear coat the rust and then keep it looking like that.
It looks amazing. That patina is so perfect.
And it's exactly what that car should be.
Oh, it's perfect. Yep. I love that truck.
So
really cool.
That wraps up our cars and coffee. It was a good one.
Yeah, there was one more note. I don't think we have a picture of it, but there was a couple of Lotuses that were there.
Oh, that's right.
Some Lotus Evoras. And you and I had an interesting conversation. Because I did not know something about this car. Apparently, the Lotus Evora GT comes standard with APX Essex race brakes, which is essentially the brakes that come on a GT3 spec race car. Like the proper racing brakes. APSX Racing. Oh my God.
That was cool to see. I did not know that brake brand until you told me that. And I was like, oh.
And then once I said it, you remember seeing it walking through like a grid walk or something, sure, right? I didn't know it came stock on Lotus Evoras.
I did not either.
Because there's multiples of them that have APSX.
Usually what? It's Brembo and...
Brembo.
That's pretty much it.
Brembo, or they'll get Willwood or Bayer to make them, but have them white labeled.
Gotcha. Yeah. Neat stuff.
That was our November Sarasota Cars and Coffee recap. Some good stuff there. And next time it comes around, December, let us know if you see us out there. Come say hi.
Indeed.
Yeah. So shall we move on to some car spots?
Sure. Did you see anything as you were out and about?
I did. So apart from Cars and Coffee, I've been driving around. And I saw something that I had to do some research to figure out what the hell it was.
I love these.
Yes. And you're really going to love this because it's not a mad crazy supercar.
What is it?
It's a Nissan. So this is an imported Nissan that would have been built in 1991. It's called a Nissan Figaro.
Huh.
Never heard of it. Looks like a toy car.
Oh, does it ever?
Like, literally, it looks like a pedal car.
That's cool.
It's freaking tiny.
Was it driving around town?
Yes.
That's cool.
I saw it driving down 41, which is a major road here.
That's awesome.
And I had to do a double, triple, quadruple take. I was like, what the hell are you?
Huh.
What is this thing? It's adorable, and I want to put it in my pocket and bring it home and give it food and water and shelter. I need to adopt it.
What was the Hammond car that he took on his trip that reminds me of this?
Oh, it does.
You know
I remember it was an Opel. It was an Opel, and he called it Oliver.
Oliver. That's what it was. It was Oliver.
Oliver. Yes. I love ya.
It reminds me of Oliver from Top Gear.
It's cute.
It is very cute.
It looks like it needs a home.
I think you might be right. And it would fit in any garage because it's tiny.
It would fit in a bathroom. You don't need a garage. You just drive through your front door and you're in. So I had to do a little bit of digging as to figure out what in the hell a Figaro is. Because I saw a picture of it online. I was like, okay, that's what I saw, but what about it?
What is it?
So it's small, as we've discussed. The color I saw it was the color we're actually looking at. Painted in pale aqua is the name of it. So this Nissan Figaro, built in 1991, and I believe they only built it in 1991, was built in Japan, and more specifically for like a single market in Japan. They only built like, I think like 8 or 10,000, but the demand was so much more that in that year they pumped it up to 20,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. So super popular in Japan for like that year. It was based on the Nissan March, or in the UK, the Nissan Micra, or pardon me, the Nissan Micra.
Okay.
So this Figaro, it uses a whopping 987 cc, so an almost 1 liter turbocharged engine, which generates, are you ready for the amount of horsepower?
Not many.
75.
Okay, not many.
No.
Actually, not bad.
Not great.
For how small it is, not bad.
It's 78 pound-feet of torque, a 3-speed automatic transmission. It is small, but it must be hefty, because even though it's got 75 horsepower, its top speed is 106.
Oh. Okay, I thought it would be lighter than that.
No. I don't have a weight, but no.
Oh, boy. All right.
It's 0 to 60. Eventually.
Oh, no.
12.2 seconds.
Oh. Oh. It's not fast.
It's as fast as a toy car as well.
It's not fast at all.
No.
Huh.
No. It's very much not fast.
That's okay. Oliver was never very fast in Top Gear anyway.
You're correct.
It's the essence of the car. It's the look. It's the feel. It's the driver that drives it and the stories that you get.
It's cute.
It is cute. I think it's awesome.
It's like a fixed hardtop convertible thing.
Yeah. That's a cool spot.
It's supposed to be a 2+2, so 2 seats in the front, 2 seats in the back. I don't think that's going to happen.
What? There's no way.
That's how it was marketed. A 2+2. I'm pretty sure not.
A 2 plus a half.
A 2 plus nothing.
Yeah.
So my spot of the week is a Nissan Figaro, because it's just freaking adorable.
I love it.
So did you happen to see anything while you were out and about?
I did. I happened to spot something that I didn't really know a lot about, but when it passed me, I saw the badge, and I was like, I'm going to do some research on this. So this is a Chevy. It's a Chevy Tahoe, but the specific one that I saw was an RST. Do you know what RST stands for?
Well, it's a Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if you've got a Chevy, let's see, a Chevy Camaro RS means rally sport.
It does. Can you guess what T means?
Would it be touring?
No. It's actually truck.
Rally sport truck. Okay.
So when you think of a Tahoe, do you think of an off-roading rally vehicle?
No.
Neither do I. I don't know why they said rally sport truck. I think of take your kids to soccer practice, maybe tow something once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the Tahoe is.
But they made this, and apparently the RST, or I think most of the Chevy Tahoes, you can get a variety of engine options, which is this is what I learned. You can go diesel with the Duramax. You can go normal engine. I think it's a 5.3 liter V8. Or you can upgrade that, and you can do what the RST would be, which is a 6.2 liter V8, making 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. You get a 10-speed. It does weigh 5,600 pounds.
It's not light. It's an SUV. It's a big SUV.
It's not light. And I think I saw the 0 to 60 time was not very fast either. It was like 10 seconds or something, which is not quick.
Correct. Not fast.
Yes. But I didn't really understand this vehicle. And I still don't quite understand why you would have
It's like an off-roady version of a Tahoe.
A souped-up off-roady Tahoe.
Because you are a Southern family man who's done pretty well in the concrete industry, and you happen to also own a piece of property in the country a little bit, and you want to take your whole family for a weekend in the country.
Do you own a Silverado or an F-150 or something as well?
Nope.
Really?
No, I don't think so. I think you take your bass boat to the lake, right? I think that's who owns an RST.
All right. That was the badge that I saw, and I wanted to learn a little more about it.
I don't mind them.
I don't mind them either, but I was still a little perplexed. What was the point of it? Just a souped-up Tahoe is what it seemed like to me.
Yes.
That's about it.
Except I really like the Tahoes if you put the diesel in it, because then it's, like, exciting.
I don't think the one that I saw was a diesel. It didn't sound like it.
Then probably not.
No, unlikely. But yes, that Duramax is a monster.
Yes, I like that.
So, let's move on, and let's do the I wish they would have. Do you have one?
I do. And it has to do with the fact that I was just pulling fuses in my car because my cigarette lighter's not working. Usually it's because of blown fuse.
Okay.
So, my I wish they would have. I wish that your fuses somehow were labeled.
Oh.
Now, I don't know how that could ever work because it's such small little areas. But I wish there was a way that you could just, like, look at it and immediately know. That goes for your ABS. That one's your heated seats. That's your right rear door window. That one's your driver's side fog lamp.
I think that there could be a way that they would do that. They wouldn't put it on the fuse itself. They would put it above or below the fuse, and they would injection mold it into the fuse box. It would be very clear as to what's happening. Putting it on the fuse doesn't make sense because the fuses are universally used across all cars, so you couldn't do that. But I do like that idea. Instead of having to flip over the fuse box and like read this terrible chart that doesn't tell you.
At least my car does not have a chart.
Oh, really?
It's got numbers.
And then
you have to go onto the interwebs and correspond with which number is which is a maze of frustration.
It seems like they should mold that into the fuse box itself.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they don't.
I agree. And also, I'm going to take this a step further. I wish there was an easier way to tell if your fuse was blown versus having to pull the whole fuse out. I wish it like stuck a flag out and was like, hey, it's me, jackass.
You would think, though, with the computerized version of cars, they could check to see if that circuit is not allowing electricity flow through it, and you have a blown or some problem, likely a blown fuse.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't do that.
So yeah, it's my I wish I would have. I guess there's two parts. Is I wish they were labeled, but I also wish there was an obvious way without having to pull the fuse to see if it's blown.
I think they should get the typewriter and typewrite you something, and then you mail it and take forever. Yeah.
I like where your head's at. Yeah. I can ride my horse to go retrieve it.
Yes, you are the old man. Yes.
All right. So then, do you have an I wish they would have?
I do.
What you got?
It's not about horses and old men. I wish more cars had heads-up displays.
Do you?
I do.
Why?
Do you remember driving the Corvette, the C8?
Yeah, and I had one.
It did. It was off to the left. It was pretty good. Why don't you want more of that?
Because I like to see a needle.
I am an old man.
And I am turning 94 tomorrow. And I want the satisfaction of seeing a needle revving.
God, you really are an old man.
Jesus, I am. It's disgusting.
Yeah. I don't see why you couldn't have more heads-up displays in vehicles. I think
you know what? Why don't you just wear goggles that show you? Or you could be like an Apache pilot that has the monocle that shows you where your enemy is hiding, and you can control your vehicle by the look of your head. Like the Apache gunship, you can control that front mount gun with just your head. You can turn it left and right, and you can aim the gun right at someone. I wish my car had a front-mounted 50 caliber machine gun, so that way when someone was an idiot, I can just use the monocle, look at them, and blast them into eternity.
Wow. We went from riding horses to blasting people with machine guns and alternate realities and stuff.
I guess I just took a pretty hard left turn there, didn't it?
Yes.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Did not mean to hijack you there.
I don't know why more cars don't have HUDs. It just put the speed in front of the driver. Maybe put the fuel remaining in the fuel tank. Like, simple things.
I see.
It's safer. You're looking through the windshield, right?
Fair.
It's a heads-up display, not a heads-down display. I think you could argue that it would actually make people better drivers and be safer.
It might, but then you don't get the satisfaction of the dial and the needle going up and down.
Nor do you get the satisfaction of machine guns and laser eyes. Yeah.
Well.
All right. This is going off the rails.
It kind of is, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So then you got anything else for episode 139?
I do not.
So that's going to wrap us up then. So if you're watching on YouTube, please do leave us a thumbs up and a comment on the video. Don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're listening on audio, please leave us a 5-star rating and a review on your platform of choice. It'd be great if I could English, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Been tongue-tied all day. Don't forget, follow us on social. Facebook is We Are Auto. YouTube is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. And our website is weareauto.io. Please do go and check that out. And thanks so much. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.